Welcome back. You're still tuned into Halftime Report. Well, Biocon has reported a better than expected Q4 FY25 quarter with a round of 154% surge in its profit. I did catch up with the managing director and the CEO, Siddharth Mittal, and started by asking about the strong recovery in generics this quarter. Listen in.
It's been a very solid quarter this year. We've seen a very solid growth in generics business of 46% year on year and 53% sequentially, which was mainly aided by launch of generic Revlimid in the US. We also had launch of dasatinib tablets in the US and more importantly, liraglutide in the UK. So a combination of these three led to a robust growth. And Revlimid, of course, has been a product which is important, has contributed to significant growth for many other companies. And we supplied the launch quantity to our customers in the US. And that, of course, a large part of the volume that we had as a part of settlement with the innovator was already supplied. So part of that growth that you've seen was one time or lumpy. But we do have some more volume coming up for sale in next fiscal year.
So what is the normalized growth for the generics business going forward?
See, I'm expecting a couple of important launches next year. Primarily, we are going to launch liraglutide in Europe. We are also expecting an approval of liraglutide in the US and Copaxone in the US. So with these three important launches, we are looking at anywhere like a high teen kind of growth for the next full year. Of course, there will be a ramp up during the quarter. So we might see normalization in the first half of next year. But the whole year, we are definitely expecting a very robust high teens growth.
Okay. All right. The biosimilar segment growth this quarter was around 4%. What was pricing pressure like? And how did key biosimilars such as, say, trastuzumab, pegfilgrastim, and insulin glargine perform?
So let me first give the number on a like-to-like basis. If you remember last year, we had disposed of our branded formulation India business, and there was certain licensing income in Q4. So on a like-to-like basis, the biologics had 9% growth this year versus last year. Now, when it comes to market shares, we have seen a very robust growth in products in the US, such as pegfilgrastim, where we are almost at 30% market share. When you look at biosimilar trastuzumab or Ogivri, we are at 26% market share. And when you look at biosimilar glargine, we are almost at 19% market share of the covered market. And I think that just demonstrates the strong performance by our team in the US, who's, post the transition from Viatris, we have more than doubled the market share for these products. And we are, of course, gearing up for a few more launches in the coming fiscal in the US.
Okay. What is the update on bevacizumab? You received an approval in April 2025 from the US. Adalimumab, as well as insulin aspart, where you currently, we understand, is under US FDA review.
So Adalimumab, of course, was launched, in fiscal 24. But since then, it's done really well in Europe. When Viatris had launched this product, they had gained significant markets, and especially in larger countries such as Germany and France. And we continue to do very well in Europe. But in the US, it didn't work out for the entire biosimilar industry. The ramp up was very slow, and the innovator continued to hold a large market share in the US. And of course, we had a couple of smaller accounts, but it's not contributing a large as far as the US market is concerned. Now, bevacizumab, we received the approval earlier, and now we're getting up for the launch. It should be, we will tie up with all the payers and various customers, and hopefully the revenues will start ramping up in the first half of fiscal 26. And as far as aspart is concerned, our facility has got cleared, and we are just hoping to receive the approval. We have a target action date coming up in the next 2 to 3 months, and we are hoping that as soon as we receive the approval, we should be in a position to get ready to launch the product, given that there is no other competition at this stage.
Okay, all right. What is the company's plan then when it comes to the larger world of weight loss drugs? You've spoken about how liraglutide was launched in the UK and how it performed. But what about semaglutide? We do understand that it is going off patent in various markets in the next fiscal. How is Biocon taking advantage of that? And what about India as well when it comes to weight loss drugs?
We have a very comprehensive pipeline of GLP-1s. Today, of course, liraglutide was the first drug which was approved and launched. We do have semaglutide in our portfolio. We have tirzepatide in our portfolio. The development is complete for semaglutide. We are filing this product in various emerging markets and developed markets in the coming fiscal. In India, we had completed our bioequivalence study and met the endpoints. We are, of course, going to do the clinical trial, which is one of the important requirements in India to launch this drug in India. And we are hoping that we should start selling this drug in emerging markets somewhere in calendar 26. And of course, there are larger emerging markets and also markets such as Canada, which opens up in 26. Now, that said, we of course know that many other companies are working on this drug, and we know we are very confident of our scientific capabilities, our capacities, and our commercial presence in these markets to be able to maximize the value from semaglutide.
Okay, Biocon Biologics, it successfully refinanced, that $1 billion long-term debt. Give us a sense in terms of what's the eventual plan when it comes to repayment and the timelines.
See, we had taken on a debt or bond of $800 million in September of 2024, which has a bullet payment in 5 years. So that comes up for repayment in 29. Then apart from that, we have roughly $350 to $400 million of debt, which is a combination of long-term debt as well as working capital debt. And this would be repaid after a moratorium of 2 years. So at this stage, there are no bank loans which are coming up for repayment. And I think we have recently announced that we are looking to raise 4,500 crores through a combination of QIP and preferential placement at Biocon level. That the deployment of those funds will be for meeting the obligations that we have for some of the structured equity that we had taken on last year to fund the acquisition of Viatris business.
Okay, that's actually my next question. Timeline of raising these 4,500 crores in terms of funds?
See, we are monitoring, of course, the market's condition, and what we have said is we will complete this fundraise of 4,500 crore in one or more tranches. We expect the first tranche to be complete by middle of June, and the timing of second tranche will be decided after the first tranche is complete.
Okay, so the first tranche could be as soon as June of this year. Any clarity, lastly, on the Biocon Biologics IPO?
Again, we all know the market situation right now. The IPO market is a bit dull, and our board has in fact constituted a committee to look at all the options apart from the IPO. So we are also contemplating to look at what are the best restructuring options to maximize the value for our stakeholders and shareholders. So including a merger between Biocon and Biocon Biologics. So I think this committee will evaluate these options, and over the next few months, we will decide the best course of action.
All right, that's the conversation from Biocon. But while